Aspartame is about to be declared a possible carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Aspartame came into existence in 1996. It's in Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Crystal Light, gums that don't have sugar, certain gums, Jell-O that's sugar-free. What else? Nutrasweet, Equal. So it's in an abundant number of products, and of course, diet sweeteners, came on the scene, and it was like, how great is this? This thing that's, by the way, 200 times sweeter than sugar, and you're being told you can lose weight because you're doing this instead of sugar. You can keep your diabetes under control. So of course it sounded great. And unfortunately, those things that sound too good to be true frequently are. And so this is after many years of research finally coming out and saying this. And you have to realize that with all the companies that are making these products that are fighting against this research, it's quite telling that we finally are at this point where the World Health Organization is saying, no, possible carcinogen, this needs to come out in the open. Last year, the journal PLOS found a link with breast and obesity-related cancers and aspartame, and also just December, so 7 months ago, now this was a mouse study, showed increased anxiety in mice that lasted 2 generations. So that's quite interesting. You're getting into the area of what's called epigenetics, and genetics changing by virtue of your environment and getting affected in that fashion. So not just cancer, but mood stability or instability in this case with anxiety. And so what we're learning is that these diet sweeteners, and we've actually known this for quite some time, it came out many years ago that the brain registers the sweetness, and actually if the food is not commensurate calories with the sweetness, that you'll start looking for those calories to make up for it. So that's one thing that happens with diet sweeteners. And then it's just the chemical aspect of it. And it's interesting because for diabetes, you're always thinking about blood sugar, blood sugar, blood sugar. But new research has been coming out over several years about blood insulin. So you tend to eat a simple carbohydrate meal, your blood sugar goes up, insulin then goes up to try to drive that glucose or that sugar into your cells. And with diabetes and obesity, you get into this insulin resistant mode where the cells are not accepting any more nourishment or fuel, and then blood sugar increases in the bloodstream. It starts getting deposited as fat, and you get fatty liver, and you start getting kidney disease and eye disease with diabetes. So what we're seeing is that it's not just about eating sugar, but it's about eating highly processed, unreal food. So we want to do real whole food that exists in nature. And these products do not exist in nature. So that finding is showing that actually these artificial sweeteners, generally speaking, more linked to out of control diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and now the cancer link. So they are not your friend. If you're kind of addicted to some, I would recommend you try like a liquid stevia. Stevia is interesting. I really like the liquid in my tea. I like the product called Sweet Leaf. I have no affiliation with the company. It just doesn't have that weird bitter aftertaste that the powders can have, in my opinion. Everybody has their own palate. But I like the liquid. Also, there's monk fruit, which is very, very sweet, but it's a real plant. Stevia is a real plant. And then also date sugar. Date sugar is not something to put in your tea or coffee because it clumps up and you're not going to be happy with it, but you can certainly bake with it. There's date syrup, and that's just all it is ground up dates and either making the sugar or the syrup. So a very real food and plenty sweet enough. And so there's a lot of lovely sweet that is natural and is not going to get you into the situation where you've got a lot of inflammation in your body leading to all these degenerative diseases that we don't want. So take a stand, get it out of your house, definitely get it away from your children. You're addicted to gum. These things are all, you can do it. You can be tough with yourself and you can do it. And especially seeing how it can be maybe affecting other generations. We want to get these chemicals out of our lives as much as possible. So find something natural that you enjoy and let me know how it goes. We'll talk soon.